Welcome. We're going to talk about some fun Zoom features today. So this is my meeting. I'm in the meeting right here. If I were to start my video, you can see me. How's it going? Um, so then that's where you'd start the video. If you want to choose a different video camera, like if you were using a document camera and a webcam back and forth, you would have to go to this little tick box here, and it would show you the options you have. Same goes for audio. Here it'll show me all the different microphones and speakers that I have enabled. Just by default, it'll use whatever the default is for your computer. So that way, if everything's working on your computer and you just leave it default, it'll work fine. But if you want to edit those options, they're there. So if I click the participants list here, it will show me the list of participants. And if it's in a big class, you'll be able to scroll down and see everybody. That's nice just to see who's in there. If you're taking attendance, having that open and taking a screenshot is a great way of doing that. The other thing with that is the chat. This is where the chat will show up. Normally it can come in the side or it can have it pop out. I have it pop out because I put it on a different monitor. But if I were to say hello in here, this just works like a normal chat. If someone else were to message in there, you would see theirs as well. This to section, if there's other people in this meeting, it'll allow you to message them privately, but do be warned that the host of the session, if they're recording the Zoom, they will get a log of the chat that includes all private logs as well. So I wouldn't be, smack talking anybody in here because the person who owns the chat can see it. And if you're faculty talking to your students, please let them know that the chats will be recorded, even their private ones, so that way there's no issues with that. Chat's a great feature. I know a lot of people use it to ask questions. And in the classes that I work with, I typically say just speak up because sometimes it's hard to be lecturing and monitoring the chat at the same time. The record feature is very nice. This feature we use to save all of the Zoom recording. So I always record on this computer. It saves it locally, and then I upload that to Canvas Studio when I'm done with the recording, just to make sure, or Canvas Studio or YouTube or Vimeo, any of the video platforming softwares you can upload it to. And recording it to my computer means there's no issues with Zoom servers. If you record it to the cloud, it does stay on the cloud, but only for 2 weeks. After those 2 weeks, it's gone permanently, so just be careful of that. I always recommend downloading it to your computer and putting it somewhere safe. Breakout rooms are a nice feature if you do small group stuff. You can assign the participants, you can choose the manual number of rooms, and then you can assign them either manually or automatically. I typically always do automatically if I'm doing something random. And then it'll tell you here how many participants you have per room. Since I have 0 participants in the meeting, I will have 0 per room. But if I had 4 people in the meeting and I chose 4 rooms, it would go to 1 per room. So that's nice. Like, oh, we want 4-person groups. You can toggle these until you get 4-person groups. Polls are a fun feature. This would be used similar to the clickers in the traditional classes, and I also use this to take attendance. So my first question is, are you here? When I launch the poll, the students will get the question, anybody in the meeting will get the question, are you here? And they'll be able to click yes and then hit submit. Even if they click no and hit submit, they're still in the meeting. This is just a nice way to get the students, record of the students being in the course. You can also use the polling for questions. If you want to edit the polls and edit the questions, once it's ended or before you do it, you click the edit button and it will show up in a browser window and it'll allow you to enter a title, new question, and then you'll be able to type your question, single choice, multiple choice, and it'll give you a list of options. And you can always add more. So I've seen people do little mini quizzes through their lectures, and I always just do my attendance. That way I get a record of the students who were there.